Make sure that you have enough height so that your hips. And then the first of the year, I always like, I think probably all of you have it, but if you don't, this is a good time to get light on yoga and just have it by your mat. It's such a good resource, and it's like, you know, kind of like the Bible of our particular practice, our method, the Iyengar method. But also at the beginning of the book, there's just all this wonderful, which is my favorite part of yoga, is the philosophy. I mean, I love the movement and I love the alignment, but that's really why I got into it in the first place, was because of the philosophy. So this explains in a very clear and precise and simple way, you know, the philosophy behind yoga. But it also has all the poses, and you get to see what we call the back of the book poses, which for all of us are like goals, maybe that will happen in this lifetime, who knows, but they're called the back of the book poses. And we kind of work towards those poses in some of the other classes. So it's just a good resource. I like to just share it at the beginning of the year. So Happy New Year. I think I've said that to all of you, maybe not to Julie, I'm not quite sure, but Happy New Year. So switch the cross of your legs. So that's called your habitual cross of your legs. So let's go to the less habitual crossing. And this pose is called Svastikasana, which is the auspicious pose. So it's just called simple cross-legged pose as well. So bring your hands onto your thighs and bring an evenness to your sitting bones and bring a distension to your thighs, and then start to lift up through the sides of your trunk from your hips all the way to your underarms, and bring your outer shoulders back and bring the crown of your head right over your tailbone, and then close your eyes. Take off any glasses and just settle down from your day so far. As it says in the first sutra, now is the time for yoga. Bring your hands to your heart center. And lift your breastbone upwards. Keep your outer shoulders back. Keep your back upper neck muscles moving down. And with each inhalation, draw up from your pelvic floor into your chest region. And with each exhalation, surrender your head, perception down. So you're locating yourself in your heart center, which is just behind the breastbone. So with each inhalation, draw up from the pelvic floor into your heart region. And with each exhalation, surrender your head, your brain, your senses of perception down. Locate yourself in your heart. Be present there. Be quiet there. And please join me for 3 Ohms. Lift your chest upwards, bow your head downwards. Release your hands down to your thighs with your palms upwards. Raise your head, and then slowly open your eyes. Okay, good afternoon. Once again, please switch the cross of your legs, and let's interlace the fingers in front of the chest this way. Turn your palms forwards, and then start to go up. So descend your sitting bones down, move your thigh bones down, lift your back ribs and your side ribs and your breastbone upwards. Think of your torso like a cylinder, so it doesn't push forward, it doesn't drop backwards. It's just lifting up on all sides like a cylinder. And reach the wrists further upwards as you descend the thighs. Like let go your thighs down, reach your wrist upwards. Very good. Now bring your arms out to the sides and down. Good. Now interlace your fingers the less habitual way, in front of your chest. Turn your palms forwards and then raise your arms up. That's it. So go down, really get that bones releasing downwards. Sometimes the thigh bones don't cooperate that well with going down or back. So move them down, lift the waistline upwards, take your outer upper arms in and extend upwards. Reach the wrist upwards. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue. And then bring your arms out to the sides and down. Very good. Now stretch out your legs and press the fronts of your thighs into the backs of the thighs. Okay, and let's come to a standing position. And then Natalie, you want to organize your mat against the wall there. Organize your mat against the wall. Okay. Okay, I did 7. Tadasana. So just have your, let's put a block, the feet in this way. So the block is at the medium level. And you have a block right in between your feet there. All of the standing poses, they start with Tadasana. And Tadasana means mountain, right? And Mr. Iyengar would say, make your body like a mountain, steady like a mountain. And all of the weather, think of all the weather that goes across mountains. Snow and rain and all storms of all kinds, bright sunny days, but the mountain never moves. So we're meant to understand ourselves more like a mountain, that steadiness. And our mood is kind of like weather, and it's always changing, but you don't get concerned with that. You just bring yourself to the steadiness of the mountain. So bring your hands to the hips and then spread your toes. Bring more weight to the four corners of your bottoms of the feet, the big toe mound, the little toe mound, and the inner heel and the outer heel, and then press down. If your inner ankles press into the block, that means you're collapsing your arches. So that means you have to bring more weight to your outer heels, right? And if your feet are rolling outwards too much and the ankles are going out like this, that means your arches are lifting too much and you have to bring more weight to your big toe mounds. Now take a moment and look at your kneecaps. See your kneecaps? So the kneecap has four corners, the bottom two corners and the upper two corners. So your kneecap, think of it like a square, and then your kneecaps have to lift evenly. Some of us, we move the inner knees too far back. Some of us move the outer knees too far back. And some of us do one thing with one knee and the other thing with another knee. So you want your knees to be going straight forwards, and think of your kneecaps, the patella, it has to track. It has to track to the middle of your thigh. And of course, this is super important for you, Julie, but for all of us, we have to keep the knees tracking. And then the thighs go back, so bring your body weight more to your heels, and then use your thumbs to move the top of the buttocks down, and then lift your chest upwards. But remember, think of your torso like a cylinder, so don't push the front body forward and drop the back ribs. Lift everything up evenly, and then stretch down through your arms. Your arms are as straight as your legs. Bring your outer shoulders back. So in Iyengar Yoga, we could take any part of the body, the elbows, the wrists, the knees, and just do a whole class on. So we're interested in this full alignment of your body in Tarasana. So lengthen up through the sides of your neck and through the crown of your head. Just look straight forwards. Look at something in your own room rather than at the camera. And bring the back of your head in line with your sacrum. You should feel like your sacrum is moving down towards your heels. Your abdomen is coming back. And there's a balance that comes. Your eyes are soft, your jaw is soft. Tadasana, steady like a mountain. Now let's raise the arms in Urdhva Hastasana. So bring your arms forward and up. And then just watch as you bring your arms upwards. If your thighs go forward, so don't let the thighs go forwards. Keep pressing down through the four corners of your feet. And then lifting up those kneecaps into the very middle of your thighs. Pull the sacrum down. So your arms are bending, NJ, your arms are bending there. So straighten the arms fully. Good. And move the abdomen back. Now bring your arms, turn your palms outwards, and then bring your arms out to the sides and down. Okay, so let's do that again, but come and get a belt. And make a loop in your belt. And make the loop in your belt about shoulder distance apart. So shoulder cap, the middle of your shoulder cap to the middle of your shoulder cap. Okay, and then stand again with your feet on that, around that brick. Making sure that your feet are evenly balanced. So if you need to, bring more weight to your outer heels so that your inner ankles don't push. Otherwise, bring more weight to your big toenails. And then put your belt on your wrists in this way. That's it, right on the wrist. And have your palms facing each other and try to break the belt and then go upwards. You can have the tail of the belt to one side so it doesn't get in your way. Now, if you have tighter shoulders or more sensitive shoulders, always make the belt loop a little bit wider. That's it. So move your body weight back into your heels. That's it. Move your thighs back. Keep moving the buttocks down. Nice, Janie. That's it. Good. Break the belt. Now look up at your hands and make sure that your palms are facing each other. Sometimes the thumb side of the hand gets closer together. So make sure it's happening. You're rolling the outer armpits forwards. And then you can look forwards, break the belt, push out, and lift your side ribs up. That's better in your arms. Very good. Now bring your belt downwards, okay? And then I want you to do that again. You can take away this block. That's fine. Take away the block and then turn to the side so I can see you from the side. Hi, Mia. Hi. Hi, Angel. Okay, so stand, have your feet apart as if you had the block there. That's it. And then Julie, I don't know if you can do it, but if you could raise your camera, then I can see your arms better. Okay, so bring this forward and just notice as soon as you do this, do your back ribs go down. So see how my back ribs have to lift. Do your thighs go forward? So keep the thighs back, keep the top of the buttocks down, keep the back ribs up as you go up with your arms. So now I'll look from the side because that's it. Good. Yes. So Janie, see if you can lift your back ribs even more. So bring your arms a little bit forward. Bring your arms forward. That's it. And lift your back ribs. Bring your front ribs in. Pull your front ribs in and lift your back ribs up. Better. That's it. Maintain that. And then bring your arms back alongside the ears. Nice, Julie. Move your thighs back. Lift your back ribs upwards. Okay, push out into that belt. Okay, so Natalie, see if you can bring your tailbone forward. Bring your tail. That's the way. Yes. And the abdomen back. Nice. Okay. And then bring your arms forward and down. Very good. Now let go of the belt. And stand now with your feet together. Stand with your feet together. Spread the toes. Balance your body weight evenly. So go from the big toe mount pressing, the outer heel pressing, so there's an evenness. Lift your kneecaps up evenly. You can turn forward again. You can face forward, that's fine. So move the thighs back, move the top of the buttocks down, and then interlace your fingers in front of the chest. Turn your palms forwards and raise your arms up. That's it. So hip the thighs back, be more in your heels. Move your buttocks down, just like we did before. So yeah, Natalie, you can bring the tailbone forward, abdomen back, and then lift through the sides of the chest. Lift your back ribs up. Even if you have to bring the arms a little bit forward to get the back ribs to lift, as you bring the arms back alongside the ears and pull up through the wrists. Nice. Now bring your arms out to the sides and down. Tadasana. Interlace your fingers again, the less habitual way. Turn your palms forwards and then go up. Go all the way up. That's it. So move the thighs back. Yes. Move the buttocks down. Lift your body like a cylinder. As you press your heels down, straighten your arms and reach up through the wrists. Make your waistline longer and thinner. These are coming well now. That's it. Lift those back ribs. Very good. And now bring your arms out to the sides and down. Okay. Now we'll do Vrikshasana. So you can have your back near to a wall. It's a balancing pose called tree pose. So you can balance on your left foot, turn your right leg out, lift your right leg up and bring your right foot up. For your knee there, Julie, is you can do this one instead. You can have your foot on a chair in this way. This is called Parsva Akuchasana. So you can have less of that flexion of the knee joint. So you can do that one instead. That's the way. Good. Everybody else, so bring your right foot up. Make sure that your left foot is in Tadasana, doesn't change. Your right toes are going straight down. That's it. Bring the hands to the hips. Lift your chest upwards. Now press into the sticky mat with your inner left foot and draw your left hip in and lengthen your inner right thigh out and down. Think of it going out and down. Just move out and down. And then Julie, what you're doing is you're turning the inner right leg to the outer right leg. You can turn that inner right leg. Lift your chest upwards. Push your right foot into your left thigh and your left thigh into your right foot. Lift your chest upwards. Good. And now bring that leg down. Okay, and now press your inner right heel down. Turn your left leg out and bring your left foot up. Bring your foot all the way up. That's it. So make sure that your right foot is in Tadasana. The right toes are going straight forwards. The left toes are going straight downwards. Bring your hands to the hips. Press down into the sticky mat with your right inner foot and draw this right hip in. Press your left foot into your right inner thigh and lengthen this left leg out to infinity and down. Yes. And then lift your chest upwards. Very good. Okay, now let's do that one more time, but I want you to turn to the side so I can see what's happening with your right leg. So stand with the left side of your body to the wall, and I want you to do it again so I can see your right leg. Now, Julie, you don't have to worry about that because you're doing that right leg on the chair, so that's fine. So stand with the left side of your body to the wall. So I'm just a little bit away from the wall, and then you turn your right leg out and bring your right foot up. That's it. Yes. Okay, that's it. Hip, left hand can be on the wall for balance. So see if you can use the wall now as a directional. So just really, you're kind of slanted, NJ. Stand so your left side is to the wall. So you should be facing that couch there. Face, the left side of your body is facing the wall. Okay, now move your left hip away from the wall. Use it as a directional. Move the left hip away. That's it. And then as you lengthen your right knee out to the side, shoulder back. Yes. And now bring your tailbone forward, but see if you can move your right knee back. Move your right knee any amount back. Move it back. But now, Natalie, bring that tailbone forward. Always going to be your work there. Very good. Okay, and release. Very good. So what happens in the pose, the knee does touch. So I'll show from the other side. So now we'll have the right side. So the knee, it does go back, but not the hip. The hip doesn't go back. So the hips stay in Tadasana, but I'm trying to get my knee to move back so that there's more lengthening of this left inner thigh. So the knee goes back and the outer hip of the standing leg comes in. Okay, so let's try it on the other side. Stand with the right side of your body to the wall, turn your left leg out, and then bring your left foot up. Yeah. Make sure that your right hip is coming in away from the wall. That's better, NJ. That's it. Right hip away from the wall. Make sure that your left hip isn't back. So I'm not even too concerned with balance. So you can just keep your right hand on the wall there and your left hand to the hip. And then so your hips are both facing. Bring your tailbone forward, but see if you can move your left knee back. Can you move your left knee back? Bring the tailbone forward and the abdomen back. Any amount. It may not go very far until you feel some lengthening of your left inner thigh. And now release. So just give me a thumbs up if you felt any lengthening of the left inner thigh, the adductor. That's it. So these are the adductors, right? So these have to lengthen. Okay, so let's try it again now, the full pose. So you can turn with your back to the wall again. Okay, and you can even, be in the center. You can be a little bit away from the wall if you want to add the element of balance. Okay, so press the left foot down into the mat, turn your right leg out and bring your right foot up. Bring the right foot up. Have the left toes going straight forwards, the right toes going straight downwards. Bring your hands to the hips. That's it. So bring the tailbone forward, bring the abdomen back, and see if you can move your right knee back, and then raise your arms upwards and lock your thumbs above you. Lock your thumbs and make your arms straight. Pull on the thumbs like you were pushing out into the belt with your arms. That's it. And keep moving the right knee back any amount without back. The right hip stays forward. Nice. Move your left ribs back, Julie, and move your abdomen from the right side to the left side. There you go. Nice, you guys. And then come down. So in the very beginning, these were all considered Tarasana. This was considered Tadasana. He says in Light Yoga that this is really Tadasana. It's only for convenience sake that it became this. You want the feeling in your chest of this in Tadasana. And Vrikshasana was even part of Tadasana a long time ago, but then it became separate poses. So press your inner right foot down, turn your left leg out, and bring your left foot up. It's great, but it also focuses your mind, which is a huge part of the practice of yoga, especially nowadays when there's so much distraction. So make sure that your right hip is in, your left hip is not back, your left hip is as far forward. That's good, Janie. Now, bring your arms upwards, lock your thumbs the less habitual way. That's it. So you're pulling the thumbs, squeezing the arms in, and then see if you can move your left knee back any amount. Move your left knee back, but bring your tailbone forward and your abdomen back. Nice. Left knee back and stretch, elongate that left inner thigh. Keep getting taller. Lift your back ribs up. Beautiful. And now release. Very good. Okay, now come to the center of your mat. Now, the wall, because we're going to do Untitled Chapter. And remember, whenever you come to class, you can always use the wall as a support. It's never bad to use the wall. Okay, so bring your feet together, stand in Tadasana, bring your hands to the center of your chest, raise your arms up, and then step your right foot out and step your left foot out. So bring your feet all the way out under the hands. Okay, so now turn your left foot slightly in, turn your whole right leg out from the top of the thigh, press your heels down, pull your kneecaps up. So just look at your right knee. What's happening with that right knee? Is it turning inwards? Especially for Julie, is that knee turning inwards? So make sure that your knee is going straight forwards. So what I want you to do is micro bend your right knee. Micro bend your right knee and bring more weight into the ball mound of your right foot. Bring more weight. That's it. And then I want you to move the inner right knee to the outer right knee. Move that inner right knee to the outer right knee. And then suck that right kneecap up. Keep that up. And then reach your arms up and then reach out. And keep that activity of your leg. That's it. Press your heels down. Lift up your kneecaps. Make sure that right knee is lifting straight upwards. Lift your chest. That's it. Now reach up with your left arm and come up out of the pose. That's it. Now turn your right toes forward. That's it. And then inhale and then exhale. Turn your right foot slightly in. Turn your left leg all the way out. Bring your hands to the hips. So make sure that your left toes are going to the left kneecap to the left. Micro bend your left knee. Bring more weight into the ball mound of your left foot and revolve your inner left knee to the outer left knee. And then as you straighten the knee, pull the patella, the kneecap up. Maintain that, lift your arms, and then reach out and come into the pose. Press your heels down, pull the kneecaps up, lift your chest upwards, reach your arms away from each other. Yeah, that's it. Now press the outer right foot and then come up out of the pose. Excellent. Now turn your left foot in. Bring your hands to the chest, step your right leg in, step your left leg in. Okay, so come and watch what I'm asking you to do now, because now we're going to do it in the pose and we're going to have a block. So watch. Once I come into the pose, because I want you to have less weight on your legs so you can get more movement, we'll use a hand. So watch what I do. This knee, it has sometimes, for some of us, it goes this way, doesn't it? It goes this way. So I bend the knee and I move the inner knee to the outer knee. The inner knee has to go to the outer knee. And this kneecap has to pull up. And the thigh has to press down. So I'm going to ask you to do that in the pose. Bend the knee, move the inner knee to the outer knee, and suck it up. And then we'll be in the pose with your hand flat on that brick. If you can't get your hand flat to the brick, put another brick under that brick. Okay? So, or you can also use a chair. So get ready. Have the brick on the right-hand side. You can always use a chair also if the brick is too low. Okay, so get ready. Have the brick ready. And then stand in Tadasana. Bring your hands to the chest. Raise your arms up and out and step your left foot out and step your right leg out. So your feet come all the way out under the hands. Now turn your left foot slightly in. Turn your right leg all the way out from the top of the thigh. That's it. Bring your hands to the hips. So do it here. Bend the knee and then bring more weight to the ball mound of your foot and then move the inner knee to the outer knee and then pull the kneecap up. Reach your arms out and then reach out and bring your hands down to that block. The right hand, come left hand onto the hip. Now bend the right knee just a little bit and then bring more weight into the ball mound of your right foot. Move the inner right knee to the outer right knee. Pull the right kneecap upwards. Straighten the leg. Straighten your left leg as well. Lift your chest and now take your top arm up. And bring the right, keep that kneecap coming up. And see if you can bring the right buttocks forward. The kneecap is going straight up. Nice. Now reach up through that left hand and come up out of the pose. Not bad. Okay, so turn your right foot in and then move your props to the other side unless you have another set. Okay, so bring your arms up. Turn your right foot slightly in. Turn your left leg all the way out. Okay, so now bring your hand. Left toes are going straight forwards. Micro bend this knee. Bring more weight to the ball mound. Move the inner knee to the outer knee. And then as you straighten the leg, pull the patella upwards and press your thigh back. Now reach your arms out and bring your left hand down to your block and bring your right hand onto the hip. Right hand onto the hip. Have the block at the highest level. Even if you can go lower, we're not interested in the deepest stretch. We're interested in the alignment of your knee today. So look down at your left knee and then bend your left knee a little bit, bend it. So bring more weight to the ball mound of the foot and move the inner left knee to the outer left knee. That's it. And then slowly straighten the leg and suck the kneecap up. Suck that kneecap up. Yes, and straighten your legs. Now suck the right kneecap up as well. Now lift your chest, look forward, and then raise your top arm up. And stretch your arms away from each other. That's it. Keep pulling those kneecaps up. Lift your chest up. Straighten your arms. Nice, you guys. Press your outer right foot and then come up out of the pose. Well done. And then bring your hands to the chest. Step your left leg in and then step your right leg in. Come to Tarasana. Okay, so let's go back to the first side and we'll do Sarvangasana. So now you can have your blocks. Start your blocks at the medium level. Have the blocks at the medium level there. Okay, so stand in Tadasana in the center of your mat. Bring your hands to the center of your chest. Raise your arms up and out. And then bring your right foot out and bring your left leg out. Good, so turn your left foot slightly in, turn your right leg all the way to the thigh. Good. Okay, so now bring your hands to the hips. And as you bend the knee, now you can bend it even more. You don't have to just micro bend it even more, but keep the inner knee moving to the outer knee. Keep the inner knee going to the outer knee so that your kneecap goes right over the middle of your foot, right there. That's it. And then slowly, as you straighten it, pull the kneecap up. So be really aware of your kneecaps today, that front kneecap. Now bend the knee again, bend the knee, move the inner knee to the outer knee, and try to get this thigh down so your leg forms a box shape. Straighten your back leg, straighten that back leg, straighten it, that's it. And then raise your arms up, That's the way, good. Make sure that kneecap, the inner knee is moving to the outer knee. Very good, now straighten the leg. Very good. Now turn your right toes forward. Inhale, as you exhale, turn your right foot slightly in, turn your left leg out. Bring your hands to the hips. Okay, so now bend this knee, and you can bend it more than just micro bending it, right? Bend it to a square, but move the inner knee to the outer knee. Get that movement so that your kneecap is going right over the middle of the foot. Straighten your back leg, good. And then slowly, as you straighten the leg, pull the kneecap up. Keep the kneecap centered in the middle of your thigh. And then once again, bend the knee. Bring the inner knee to the outer knee. Get your left thigh to go down. Straighten your back leg. And then raise your arms upwards. Yes. Keep lifting the arms up. That's it. Go down with your left hip. Beautiful. These are good. And now straighten your front knee. Turn your left foot in. Bring your hands to the... Step your right leg in and step your left leg in. Okay, so now we haven't talked too much about the back knee. So what happens with my back knee? So the back knee, when we come into this pose, the back knee has a tendency to drop too far in. You see, it goes this way. So this has to move back. This has to move back. So the outer knee has to roll backwards. So the front leg, the inner knee has to go to the outer knee. And on the back leg, it's the same thing. The inner knee has to go to the outer knee, okay? And what that creates is the kneecaps going straight forwards. So let's do it again with that in mind, okay? So stand in Tadasana. Bring your feet to Tadasana. Just gonna fix my mat here. Bring your hands to the center of your chest. Raise your arms up and out, and then step your left foot out and step your right leg out. Turn your left foot slightly in, turn your right leg out, bring your hands to the hips. So bend your knee, go nice and slow so you can move the inner knee to the outer knee. Get your right hip to come down. That's it. Now, move the outer left knee back. Move the outer left knee back. Outer left knee back. So you should feel like both of your inner knees are moving to the outer knees. Raise your arms upwards and look to the right. Keep your inner knees moving to the outer knees until you feel like your inner thighs are spreading like Vrikshasana. You should feel some spreading of your inner thighs. The inner thighs are moving away from each other. Good. Now straighten the knees. Turn your right foot in. Give me a thumbs up if you felt any spreading of the inner thighs. The spreading of the inner thighs. Yes? Okay, good. Because what happens, if your inner thighs are tight, guess what happens? Your knees are affected. So the knees are kind of like the middle child. And if your hips are tight, your knees get affected and then your knees get off balance. Let's do the other side. So bring your arms up and out. Now turn your right foot slightly in. Turn your left leg all the way out without letting your right shoulder come forward. Bring your hands to the hips. Good. And then slowly bend your left knee. Again, move the inner knee to the outer knee and lengthen this left inner thigh. Now, move your inner right knee to your outer right knee. So it should feel like your legs are spreading. Bring your arms up and look to the left. Keep moving your inner knees to the outer knees, spreading your inner thighs apart. Nice, you guys. Relax your eyes and your jaw. These are beautiful poses. Now, straighten your left knee. Turn your left foot in. and then step your left foot in, and then your right leg in. Very good. Okay, so let's do Arda Uttanasana. So bring your hands to a wall at the level of your waist. Turn your fingernails upwards, and then bring your hips back. So Arda Uttanasana. That's it. So just bring your feet, have your fingernails going upwards, straight upwards for today. That's it. Good. Now, look at your kneecaps. Are they going straight forwards? Are they lifting to the center of your thighs? And are they going straight forwards? Forwards. Yes. Now move the top of your thighs back until it feels like your hands start to get light on the wall because you're moving so much back into your legs. That's the way. Good. And now look forward and come up. Okay, so let's do that again. Put a block in between your thighs. So put a block up in between your thighs at the medium level this way, and then watch. So, and I just want you to have your fingertips on the wall now, just your fingertips on the wall. So watch. So the thighs really have to, right here, this has to go back, really far back. The thighs have to keep going further and further back. And the kneecaps have to lift upwards. Make sure the kneecaps are lifting upwards. And then just be on your fingertips on the wall. Okay, so let's do it again with the thighs moving further back and with just the fingertips on the wall. So bring your fingertips onto the wall at the level of the higher is also fine. Walk your feet back. Keep the block in between your thighs because it's cultivating awareness. In order for the kneecaps to lift, your thighs have to lift. Your thighs are in control of your kneecaps. That's it. Good. Now be on your fingertips. That's it. And now look at your kneecaps and lift them. Lift them up. And now move your thighs back as far as you can. And even move that brick back. Move the brick back. Move your outer hips back. And then pull your sides of your body away from your upper arms. And then push back into the wall with your fingertips and move the hips further back. These are excellent. And now release. And we'll go. We're finished with that for now. Okay, so come back to the center and we'll do Sarvangasana. So now I think that's enough of the bent knee work for you, Natalie. So what I'd like you to do, Natalie, is work either with your hands on the wall for Sarvangasana, either with your hands on the wall this way, or your hands down on bricks. Okay, so one of those two positions, whichever gives you a better pose, you can do that. Everybody else, come back to the center and we'll do Sarvangasana. Okay, so stand in the center of your mat. Bring your feet together. Bring your hands to the center of your chest. Lift your arms up and out, and then step your right foot out and step your left foot out. Bring your feet all the way out under the hands. Turn your left foot in. Turn your right leg out. Be cognizant of your knees, the inner knees moving to the outer knees. Return to Warrior Two pose. Return to Warrior Two. That's it. Inner knees to the outer knees. Now reach all the way out. Reach out, and then bring your hand down to your block. Have the block at the medium level, really close to your ankle. Bring your left hand onto the hip. Now look at your right knee and move it back. Natalie, you're just working to lift up your right knee, make it straight, and then you're moving your inner left knee back. The inner left knee has to go back. So as you move your right knee back into your arm, make sure there's no space between your arm and your knee. That's the way. Good. Now, can you move your outer left knee back even more? Can you move your outer left knee back and lift your inner left thigh up? Roll your left shoulder back, and now lift up your left arm and come up out of the pose. Excellent. Very good. Turn your right toes forward. Just bring your hands to the hips for a moment. Deepen your breath. Raise your arms up and out. Turn your left leg all the way out. So focus as you press your heels down on moving those inner knees to the outer knees. As you bend your leg back into Virabhadrasana 2. Go back. Inner knees to the outer knees. That's it. Now reach your upper body way forward and bring your left hand down to the block. Bring your right hand onto the hip. Natalie, you're just working on extending your legs, pulling the left kneecap up evenly, and then moving that right inner knee back. Yes. Now everybody else, push your left knee back into the arm. Yes, so the inner knee moves to the outer knee, and then move your outer right knee back. Move your outer right knee back and lift your inner right leg up. Roll your right shoulder back and then take your top arm up. Take your top arm up. Can you descend your left inner thigh anymore, Julie? Can you move your left inner thigh down? Yes, like that. Very good. Now pull up through your right arm and come up out of the pose. Very good. Turn your right toes forward. Bring your arms and your legs back together. So it's super challenging pose. To get this, I think all of you have this knee. But this, when this knee drops down, this drops down. See, this has to lift up, and this has to lift up. So that more weight has to come to my outer edge of my back foot. So this has to lift. This outer knee has to go back, the inner knee, and this has to lift. So I'm still spreading the legs apart as I take the top arm up, and then I turn it, and I extend it. Okay, so let's try that. So stand in Tadasana, bring your feet together, focusing on the knees today, knee health. Bring your feet together, bring your hands to the center of the chest. Raise your arms up and out, step your left foot out, step your right leg out. That's the way. Good, now turn your right foot slightly in, turn your left leg all the way out from the top of the thigh. I'm going the other way. Left foot in, right leg out. Now slowly, bend the knees, but be cognizant of moving the inner knees to the outer knees. That's it, go down, and then reach all the way out. Bring your hand down. That's it. Bring your left hand onto the hip. Now, Natalie, this time you can walk your hands forward and come to the more forward bend posture. Good. So now, push your right knee back. Move your outer left knee back. NJ, get more lift on your inner left leg. Lift the inner left leg away from the floor. The inner left leg, the back leg. Lift it up. The inner left thigh, lift it up. Bring more weight to the little toe side of your foot. That's it. Move your inner knees to the outer knees. Take your top arm up, turn the arm, and extend it. That's the way, Julie. Good. Don't let it come too far down. Let's make it in a straight. That's the way. Yes. And then roll your left ribs back. Move. That's nice, Janie. Move your inner knees to the outer knees. Beautiful. Now lift up your left arm and come up out of the pose. Very good. Turn your right foot in. Bring your hands to the hips and deepen your breath. Okay, let's do the last time, second side. Raise your arms up and out. Turn your right foot slightly in. Turn your left leg all the way out. Press your heels down. Pull those kneecaps up. And as you start to bend this left knee, turn the inner knee to the outer knees, on both legs, and then reach all the way out. Bring your left hand down. Bring your right hand onto the hip. Move the left knee back into the left arm. Connect it. Yeah, that's it. Natalie, you can walk the bricks forward. Make sure that your front kneecap is straight and your back inner knee is moving back so the hips are even. Yes. Now, bring your hand down to the brick. Move your left knee back. Move your outer right knee back. Right shoulder back. See if you can move your inner left groin further down. Julie, inner left groin down. Leg down. That's it. Now, raise your top arm up. Turn your arm and extend your arm. But focus on moving the inner knees to the outer knees. Roll the right ribs back. Nice, that's it. And turn. So the top arm comes here. Finish the pose. That's the way. And then lift up your arm and pull yourself up out of the pose. Well done. Turn your left foot in. Bring your arms and your legs back together. Okay, good. So now we'll do Arda Uttanasana. So you might need some blocks in front of you. This is the wide-legged standing bend, standing forward bend. This one you can do with us, Natalie, it's fine. So have your heels near the back edge of your mat. So bring your hands to the center of your chest, raise your arms up and out, step your right foot out, step your left foot out. Okay, now bring your hands to the hips. Okay, now, you want the outer edges of your feet to be parallel, but a lot of times folks are turning the feet so far in that their knees are actually going in. You don't want your knees to go in this pose. So only turn the feet in enough so that the outer edges of your feet with the short edges of your mat. It's not like you're going into a pigeon-toed position. It's not that dramatic, okay? It's less dramatic. And it really depends on how wide your feet are, because you want your kneecaps to be going straight forwards. The kneecaps have to go straight forwards. The thighs go back. Bring your hands to the hips. Roll your shoulders back. Lift this part of your chest upwards and then start to come forwards and bring your hands down under your shoulders and lift your chest. Lift your chest. Your palms you can be on your fingertips. Your palms can be flat. Otherwise, you can have your hands on blocks. Yes. But get a concave in your upper back. So press the outer edges of your feet down. Pull your kneecaps up. Make sure they're going straight forwards. Julie, see if you can take your legs any wider apart. That's it. Now, keep your chest lifting, but walk your hands slowly forward, like downward facing dog, but don't let your hips come forward. And you can stay with your palms flat, or you can be on fingertips, or you can move the blocks forward. Nice. Release your head down. Once your arms are forward, release the head down. Now you can see your kneecaps. Are they lifting? Straight upwards. Is one turning in? Is one turning out? Move your inner thighs and your outer thighs evenly back. Inner thighs and outer thighs, and spread the inner thighs. That's it. Very good. Now walk your hands back under your shoulders. Heel to toe your feet in once or twice. Bring your hands to the hips. Reach the chest forward, and then up you come. Well done. Okay, so bring your legs together. We'll do that again. And then I wouldn't normally teach this, but I think everyone here can do it. So now we'll do it with the head down. We'll bring the head down, okay? So bring your hands to the hips, and then step your left foot out and step your right leg out. So have your heels lined up with the back edge of your mat. Again, have the outer edges of your feet parallel, and your kneecaps are lifting. So this is kind of a special class, because I probably wouldn't go into this much detail at all in a beginner's class, but none of you are real beginners. You see, beginners, all I do is say straighten your legs, straighten your arms, lift your chest, because that's plenty of information. So lift your chest upwards, roll your shoulders back, look upwards, and then start to come forwards. Now bring your hands down, but lift your chest upwards. Pull your breastbone forward, keep your kneecaps pulling up, lift those quadriceps. Make sure that your knees are going straight forwards. And then you can walk the hands forward again, that's easier. Otherwise, walk your hands backwards in between your feet. Otherwise, yeah, that's fine, Julie. And then bring your head down. Bring your head down. And if your head doesn't come down, you can take your feet a little bit wider and see if it comes down. If it doesn't come down, just put something under your head. And then bend your elbows backwards. The fingernails are going straight forwards. Bring your elbows right over your wrists. Your hands are your wrists are as wide as the shoulders. And now press your heels down, lift your kneecaps up, and move the inner thighs away from each other. Really rest your head downwards and lift your shoulders up. This pose is the very beginning of headstand pose. It's the very beginning. Good. Now lift up your chest, walk your hands forward under the shoulders, shuffle your feet closer together, bring your hands to the hips, reach the chest forward, and up you come. And then come back to Tadasana. Stand in Tadasana with more awareness of your kneecaps, lifting evenly, thighs back, sacrum moves down, chest goes up. Good. Now bring the short edge of your mat to a wall. This one you can do also, Natalie, it's fine. And we'll do downward facing dog pose and child's pose. So when we go to child's pose, Julie, well, you can do one of two things. You can do classic downward dog, and then when we go to child's pose, you can sit and do Pava Muktasana with your hands on the floor or bricks, okay? Everybody else will do downward dog. So bring your inner thumbs and inner index fingers to the wall. Come onto your hands and your knees. So you want to be able to push. This is the first way we learn the pose, by pushing into something. Yeah, so use the purple mat, Julie. Use the purple mat so you can push your hands into that wall. That's the way. So push your hands into the wall. Get your inner hands to be flat. Lock your elbows inwards and have your inner elbows facing each other, but turn the tops of your arms out. So don't overturn the turn of the elbows. That's what we tend to do. Turn the tops of your arms out. Now, take your feet as wide as the sticky mat, roll your toes under, and then lift your knees upwards, lift your hips upwards, and move your chest backwards. Your chest goes back towards your legs. That's it. Very good. Now lift your heels upwards and move your chest further backwards. Lift your heels up, and then look at your kneecaps. Are they lifting evenly? Lift those kneecaps all the way. Track the kneecaps into the center of the thighs, and move the fronts of your thighs into the backs of the thighs. And then reach your heels back and down. Very good. Now, lightly come down onto the knees. We'll do that again. Just stay there. Lightly come down onto the knees. Good. So push your inner hands into the wall. Press the hands down. Some of you, if it's coming well for you, you can just separate your feet as wide as your hands. Okay, otherwise, take your feet as wide as the sticky mat once again. Roll your toes under and then lift your knees up. Lift your knees up, lift your hips up, lift your heels up, and move your chest back. Move your chest back. That's it. Straighten your arms. Turn the tops of your arms out. Now pull the sides of your body away from your arms. Pull your hips away from your side body. That's it. Look at your kneecaps. Make sure they're lifting and tracking. And now move your thighs back like we did with the hands on the wall. And then reach your heels backwards and downwards. Yes. Take a slightly shorter jog, Natalie. Slightly shorter. That's it. Move the fronts of your thighs into the backs of the thighs. Excellent. Now come down onto the knees. And now move your knees back a little bit so your hands come away from the wall. Move back. Take your knees apart, wider than your hips. Bring your big toes to touch, and then move your hips back to the feet. All the way back to the feet. Bring your head down. If your head doesn't come, head. And then hold on to the sides of the sticky mat and stretch the sticky mat forward and move your hips further back. So roll your buttocks over your feet. Draw your abdomen back. Draw your outer hips back. Bring your feet a little bit further forward, Julie, so they're directly under the knees. The feet come, that's the way, good. Draw the abdomen back and then keep lengthening the sides of your trunk forward to your hands. Further forward to your hands. Walk your hands further forward on the sides of the mat. That's the way. Turn the tops of your arms out. Elbows are up. Beautiful. Okay, and then release. Okay, now let's come to sit now. So come back to the center. If you can face the camera, that's always better. If you need to move your camera lower so I can see you when you go down, make sure to do that. So we'll sit in Tadasana, the staff or the stick pose. So I'm going to sit on 2 blankets, like I did at the very beginning of the session. And I'm sitting on the very front edge of the blankets. And let's do the first one with the feet apart. So the feet are about sitting bone distance apart. And then use your right hand to pull the right buttocks flesh back. Use your left hand to pull the left buttocks flesh back. And bring your fingertips onto your blankets behind you. And make sure that your toes are going straight upwards and they're spreading. And you're reaching the inner edges of your feet forward. Look at your kneecaps. Are they pulling up and tracking evenly? Make sure that the kneecaps, the 4 corners of the knees that we spoke of earlier, are going straight upwards. And then move the roots of your thighs downwards. Move the roots of your thighs downwards. Roll your shoulders back and then make sure that your sacrum, which is here, is not going back. The sacrum is coming in. Move your sacrum into your body and move your abdomen back. Sacrum forward, abdomen in, or the back of the abdomen draws back. Lift up through the sides of your chest. Roll your shoulders back. Very good. Okay, now take your right leg out to the side this way and take your left leg out to the left. So this is called Upavishta Konasana. And then you can see, if you really feel like the blankets are pushing you forward and your lower back is starting to arch, lower your height. Lower your height. You can go lower. Okay, but now make sure that your toes, look at your right toes, make sure they're going straight upwards, and make sure that this right kneecap is going straight up. Look at the left toes. Make sure the left toes are going straight upwards. The left kneecap is going straight up. So there's no turning of the leg. The legs are spreading, but you're not turning the legs outwards. Okay, so now bring your fingertips behind you. Press your hands down, lift the sides of your trunk upwards, roll your shoulders back, and can you move your thighs down? In fact, for a moment, put your hands on your thighs and press your thighs down. Move your thighs down, 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 and lift the sides of your trunk upwards. Pull the kneecaps up to the thighs and move the thighs down. Back onto the blankets and keep releasing the backs of the thighs towards the floor. And the backs of the knees, get them closer and closer to the floor. Good. Okay, now hold on to your knees from the inside and bring your right leg in and bring your left leg in and come to Arda Uttanasana. Now this is where you want to sit higher, Julie. You want to sit higher. You can sit on a bolster and maybe a blanket or 2 blankets. And then when you bend this knee, I think it's your right leg that bothers you, right? So you put a belt. You put a belt, just a doubled belt like this, a doubled looped belt behind the back of your knee. And it should look like that. So you have a knee there, that's it. And what is this belt doing? It's doing the same work that we just did. It's moving the inner knee to the outer knee. That's it. So the belt is doing that. That's just for Julie, who has a knee consideration. Everybody else, bring your feet together. Bring your fingertips here and push your heels into each other. Before you do that, use your thumbs and open up the inner feet. Open up the inner feet. That's it. Yeah, and hold on to that belt. Your work is just using the belt, Julie. That's it. Make sure it's right, not around your thigh, but right around the knee. This way, and you're using it. Pull the inner knee to the outer knee. So make sure it's not on your thigh above the knee. Just pull the inner knee to the outer knee. And that you just work on that. That's it. Just your left hand can be down. Good. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Once you've opened up your feet like a book, that's it. And keep spreading. Now you should really feel the inner thighs spreading. So that same work that we started to do here, the inner knees moving to the outer knees, you're continuing in this pose. So I hope that's making sense, that the inner knee is moving to the outer knee, and now move the inner knees to the outer knees. Everybody, move the inner knees to the outer knees, and draw your outer knees back into the outer hips. You can even put your thumbs here, and move the inner knees to the outer knees, and pull the knees apart. Move the inner knees, that's it. But as you do that, press your heels into each other, and you should feel some opening here in your hips. That's it. And then bring your fingertips here and keep that work going. Yes. So you can use your left thumb in this knee and the right hand there, just turning that right leg out. You should do this every day, Julie, until that knee gets space. Yes. And you can even use a belt. If you were at the studio, I would have you use one of the ropes on the rope wall because it's thicker. It has more roundness to it. Very good. Okay. Now bring your knees back together and stretch your legs back out into Tadasana. And now you can have your legs together. See if you can have your legs together. If possible, again, pull the left buttocks flesh back, pull the right buttocks flesh back, and then you might be able to sit lower. If you can sit lower and your sacrum doesn't fall backwards, even if you can sit on the floor, okay, that's fine. Okay, for me, I like the extra height because it helps me tip my pelvis forward, but everybody is different. So you have to see, you have to use the props in an intelligent way for your body on every given day. So bring your fingertips behind you. Again, spread your toes. If this feels up too much, work again with your legs apart. So I'm just sitting on the very front edge of the blankets. Move the thighs down, make sure that your kneecaps are tracking. Press your hands down, roll your shoulders back. And then see if you can raise your arms upwards. And remember the belt. Remember how we were pushing into the belt? You could even use the belt if you wanted to. That's it. Good. Go up. Nice. Straighten those arms. That's it. But when you go up, make sure that you're not letting your body fall back. Use your arms and pull up, go up, like there's ropes on the ceiling. So you're lifting your sacrum. Move the thighs down like there's weight. Draw the abdomen back and keep reaching upwards. Relax your back, upper neck muscles down. This is called Urdhva Hastasana in Dandasana. Isn't it a strong pose, isn't it? Release your thighs down. Are they gripping? Move your thighs down. Lift your lower back up. Straighten your arms. And then release. Okay, well done. Now, cross your legs. So bring your, you might have to sit back on some height. So let's bring the right leg in first. Bring your right leg in first. And then bring your left leg in second. So Julie, what I want you to do, let me see, because you can't sit like that, right? Can you sit cross-legged? Sit way high up. Sit way high up. Yeah, way high. On a bolster. There you go. Good, so give yourself space. Okay, now we're going to twist. Okay, so raise your, and make sure, if you're sitting on blankets, you can use the blanket for your hand. Otherwise, you can use a block for your hands. So raise your arms upwards. Turn to the right. Bring your left hand down onto the outer right thigh. Bring your right hand back into the center of your sacrum there. Have your right fingernails moving backwards. Roll your right shoulder back away from your neck. Lift your chin upwards. Keep descending your thighs down and turn. Nice, Janie. That's it. Turn. Don't let your thighs come up. Keep descending the thighs down. Lift your sacrum up. Good. Come back to the center. Give me a thumbs up if that feels okay for you, Julie. Is that okay for you? Okay, good. Okay. So raise your arms upwards. Go up. Urdhva Hastasana. Now turn to the left. Bring your right hand onto the outer left knee. Come down. NJ, make sure your shins are crossed. Your shins are crossed. Cross the shins and turn. Lift your chin. Have a bend of your elbows. Nice. Abdomen back. Lift your chin up and turn. Beautiful. Okay, now come back to the center and let's switch the cross of the legs. So bring your left leg in first and bring your right leg in second, or just switch it up, whichever you didn't do. Okay, so let's raise the arms upwards once again. Move the thighs down. That's it. Make your arms straight. Now turn. Bring your left hand down without pulling the knee up. Bring your right hand back. And see if you can bring your right hand all the way back behind your left buttocks. Maybe you can even bring your right hand onto the left side of the blanket so you can really turn all the way around towards whatever's behind you. Turn around. Turn your abdomen. Lift your chin. Have a bend of both of your elbows. Pull on your outer right knee with your left hand. Pull on the blankets with your right hand and turn. Come back to the center. That's called Parsva Swastikasana. So raise your arms upwards. Go all the way up. Inhale, now exhale, turn. Now bring your right hand down onto the outer left thigh. And when you bring your left hand back, can you bring your left hand all the way behind your right buttocks? Maybe even bring your left hand to the right side of the blankets. And then lift upwards, have a bend of both elbows. Draw your abdomen back. If this feels uncomfortable at all, don't go to a deep twist, Natalie. But these are fine to do. And then turn. Turn all the way around towards whatever's behind you. Lift your chin and turn. And now release. Excellent. Now stretch out your legs. Okay, and then let's come on to our back. Come lie down on your back. And let's use our belt today. So just have, like I was saying for Julie, like a doubled belt. Just a doubled belt. It doesn't have to be looped, but you can have a doubled belt. And we'll do Shatsush Padasana. Okay. So lie down on your back. And then bring your belt right around the fronts of your ankles. And bring your feet right under your knees. Hold onto the belt close to your ankles. And let me see, Julie, can you do this one? Yeah, don't worry about the belt. If that causes your feet to get too close in, you can skip the belt, Julie. Make sure there's nothing under your head. Have the outer edges of your feet parallel, and now lift up your knee, lift up your hips, and pull on the belt so that you come more onto the top of your shoulders. Lift your hips up and bring your body weight back into your heels. That's it. Nice. Okay, good. Now come down. Now reach for your block and put your block in between your thighs like we did earlier. Put your block in between the thighs. This is going to help you keep the thighs parallel to each other. Very good. So think of the outer thighs lifting and the inner thighs moving down. It also keeps your kneecaps tracking right over the middle of your feet. Very good. So turn the tops of your arms out, hold onto the belt, and then raise your hips up. Raise your hips up, pull on the belt. Yes. So Julie and Natalie, see if you can lift your outer thighs up, roll the inner thighs into the block. Roll your inner thighs, that's the way, yes, look at that, that's great. Inner thighs, roll them into the block, lift your hips higher, pull on the belt. Lift those hips, NJ, lift your hips, lengthen the front thighs, and then come down. Very good. So let's do that one more time. Shatsush Padasana. Okay, so turn the tops of your arms outwards and then raise your hips up. With your hips lifting, roll your inner thighs into the block and lift your outer thighs up. That's it. Even more, Julie. Roll those inner thighs into the block. Lift your outer hips up. Take your tailbone up. Get on the top of your shoulders. Nice. And then come down. Very good. Okay, now we're going to do Setu Bandha, Sarvangasana. So I want you to have something for your feet. So a bolster will work well, a bolster. And then you can even have like a blanket on top of the bolster to make it higher. And then you have a couple of blocks. And the blocks are going to be this way. Okay? One on top of each other. So watch. You always put the blocks under second. So you just lie down on your back. And then you put the blocks under your tailbone and your sacrum. And then you bring your feet onto this. Now I'm too close, so I have to move further back because I just want my heels to be on that, just my heels. So that's a bridge. The blocks are right under my tailbone. See how my feet are basically the same height as my hips? That's what you're going for. And then turn the inner arms to the outer arms. So this is called Setu Bandha, Sarvangasana, with blocks. So lie down on your back and then have the support for your feet ready. And then lift your hips like we just did in Shatsush Padasana. And then put those blocks under. That's the way. Roll your outer thighs upwards. If you feel that your ankles are on the blocks, just come down and move your body further back away from the feet support. That's it. Turn the inner thighs to the outer thighs. Excuse me, roll the outer thighs up. I misspoke. Roll those outer thighs up. Remembering the brick. Remember how you were rolling the inner thighs into the brick? It's the same feeling here, but we're not doing it with the brick because the bricks are under us. That's good. Everybody looks great. The toes are going straight upwards. Now, make sure that your kneecaps are going straight upwards and you're pulling the kneecaps up, but now press the fronts of your thighs down. Take off glasses if you wear glasses. Press the fronts of the thighs into the backs of the thighs. Turn the tops of your arms out. Lengthen the back of your neck. Yes. Keep reaching the inner heels forward, the big toe mounts forward, pulling the kneecaps up, but pressing the thighs down, rolling the thighs as if there was still a brick in between your thighs. Let the arms be relaxed, the chest be open, the sides of your neck softening. This pose is the very beginning of shoulder stand. So just like Prasarita Padottanasana is the very beginning of headstand, this pose is the very beginning of shoulder stand. Okay, now bend your knees and take the blocks out from under the hips. Let your lower back neutralize. And then let's get ready for Shavasana. So you can put that bolster under your thighs and you can put a blanket or something else under your head. You can also cover your eyes with something if there's a lot of light in your room, or you just want to rest your eyes more deeply. Once you're there, push your buttocks flesh towards your feet and lift your chest upwards away from your pelvis and make sure that the back of your neck is extended. Use as much height as you need to under the head so that your face feels like it's very slightly slanted downwards. And then take a deeper breath in, and as you exhale, relax your legs completely. The feet are a little bit about as wide as the sticky mat. Let your feet fall open. Take another deeper breath in, and as you exhale, relax your arms completely and turn your palms upwards. Relax your upper arm bones completely. Let your abdomen become soft. Relax your lower jaw away from your upper jaw. Relax your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Surrender your eyeballs away from your eyelids. Away from the outer ears. Bring your front brain towards the back brain, and then flow your brain down into your spiritual heart center, that space just behind the breastbone. Be again present there. Find sanctuary there. Let go there. Now see if it's possible to let go anymore. Bring your hands to your body and deepen your breath. And then bend your knees and roll to your side. Come up with your head last and sit with your spine tall, your chest open, and your palms upwards. Receive the benefits of your practice. Bring your hands to your heart center. Raise your chest upwards and bow your head downwards. Namaste, Tattvam Asi. You are that, I am that, all is that. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.